castle creak. Your outcome's looking pretty bleak. Thunder booms and lightning crashes, leaving boots filled with ashes. As we lay you down to rest, we read the pages of the Dead Man's Digest.
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the Dead Man's Digest for the Halloween Horror Nights 2018 season. Horror Nights 28 here. I am your host, Darren, and of course, joining me, we have Nina.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited. We're talking Halloween in April. This is the best.
Yep, and Travis.
What's up? We back. D&D's back.
Yeah, we are back, and since we've had a couple announcements already, including a really surprising one with an original house already being announced, and it's pretty crazy.
And we love our originals.
That it was time to dust off the old book and open it up and get ready to talk some Horror Nights again.
I just can't believe it's here already.
Yeah.
What? It's crazy.
Yeah, so first we'll talk about some Stranger Things here, because that was
Wasn't that an exciting announcement?
Yes, it was. That was the first one. So you wanna?
Like, I've seen it. Of course, you've seen it. If I've seen it, you've seen it.
Yes.
We live in the same place. But
Yes,
Travis,
we watched
you've seen it,
both
of course, right? Stranger Things.
Yeah, I've seen the first season, but not the second. I saw one episode of the second season, so yeah, I don't know much about the second season, but
That's fine.
I guess we don't really have to talk about that because it's only the first season anyways. So
Exactly.
Yep.
So let's see. From Hawkins to Universal Studios, Stranger Things is coming to Halloween Horror Nights. Okay, on April 3rd, it was announced by Patrick Brilliard. It says, "Get your waffles ready. Netflix's supernatural adventure thrillers turning Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights upside down. You'll be able to experience the suspense and supernatural frights from season 1 of Stranger Things in a new harrowing maze." And it's interesting, just season 1. So hopefully this is like a American Horror Story, Walking Dead thing where they can just have it keep going.
Me?
I love season 2. We're very excited to be working closely with Netflix to give our guests an immersive experience into the Stranger Things world by recreating some of the show's most iconic scenes, 80s settings, and most loved characters. Hashtag RIP Barb. You'll faithfully follow the storyline, starting off on Mirkwood and then quickly moving to inside Hawkins National Laboratory, where things have gone terribly, terribly wrong. From there, you will experience all the most memorable moments and environments from the show while being hunted at every turn by the Demogorgon. Ugh. Sorry, those creep me out. And of course, you'll step into the mysterious darkness of the Upside Down more than once, whether you like it or not. Stranger Things at Halloween Horror Nights 2018. The best part? Stranger Things is coming to Universal Hollywood and Universal Studios Singapore. Our sister parks will both have mazes too. Oh, cool. This is a worldwide thing.
Yep.
That'd be nice. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm as excited about this one.
Oh my gosh, the Demogorgons. I just feel
Yeah, but
like...
what are you gonna see? You're gonna have guys in bodysuits with foam rubber flower petals on their heads, basically.
I wish they can get the big American Werewolf rig, like the big
Hey, they
head,
might.
and put a Demogorgon on that, come shooting at you with lights.
I'm sure they'll have some kind of big animatronic or puppet, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In there somewhere.
Yeah.
They probably won't be all over the house, but I'm sure you will definitely see one other than just somebody in a weird suit. But
That's kind of cool to go in and out of the Upside Down, too.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for, like a lot of scenes where you see the scene and then you go through the same scene in the Upside Down, like you're going back and forth. I think that would be
almost
pretty cool.
I wonder how they'll nail that. I hope it's not just like Snope that they use in there to do the Upside Down, which is kind of like that dream sequence type thing where everything seems like it's kind of in slow motion or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think if they nail that, I think that could be really cool in the Upside Down. I don't know how they could do it, but I never know how they can do a lot of this stuff, and sometimes they end up pulling it off, and sometimes it's complete crap. So,
just a lot of grays and fog.
Yeah.
Just the Upside Down just reminds me of gray.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think you're definitely going to see a lot of that.
Like, definitely certain sets that I expect to see is going to be the family room with lights. Definitely going to want to see that.
That's going to be such an easy scene to do, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a given.
The whole couch, wallpaper.
And the lab. The
some
lab
lights.
is just like, we can use, what's his face's, hospital scene. Just use that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you know what's weird about...
props to use.
You know what's weird about the national, the Hawkins National Laboratory? I don't really remember a lot from it.
Season 2, I think it'll help refresh.
Was it like very prevalent in the first season though, or was it just
like the last episode or the last couple episodes? The sheriff does go there to ask questions about the boy because he's missing. So
gotcha. So that's probably where the maze will probably end, right? You think?
Yeah, it's going to be at the laboratory and in the Upside Down in the lab where season 1 ended pretty much. I would say it's probably going to follow it note for note.
I need to go back and watch it through. Like, yeah. I like Stranger Things, but I'm not like this crazy person that was like super crazy about it. I know there's a lot of people that are like rabid fans for it. Like I said, I like it, but it's not something like some people do. Like,
yeah, I think
my
it's
buddy
the same
Micah,
for me too. Yeah,
Micah
really
is a huge Stranger Things. Like, he's watched Stranger Things many times over,
wow.
And I think I've maybe watched the first season like one time and one episode of the second season.
I think the nostalgia is what really like draws people in.
Yeah,
it's so nice.
Yeah, it's a different. It's definitely
new.
Different kind of nostalgia, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think it could make a cool house. I don't know. Like, it's not my top thing this year, I don't think. But we'll see. You never know until you go through stuff.
Yeah.
You see how Bliss changed drastically.
Oh my god, yeah, from every night.
Even from the beginning of the event to the end of the event.
Oh, yeah.
So we saw what some of the houses last year did with I never liked what was that metal house? I hated it so much I don't even remember the name of it.
You're like, I gotta get it out of my mind right now.
People were saying how much they loved that house last year, or at the beginning of the event, and then towards the end of the event, the house, everybody was like, yeah, the house just sucks now. So I don't know where I was going with that, but
I can't remember which house it was.
Things can change.
I went flippy floppy on all the houses too.
Yeah, it was not good. It was the one with the flying stuff all over the place.
Oh,
we're bad fans. I don't remember either.
The one I didn't like all the way through.
Much.
Yeah.
Was it what side of the park was it?
The Angels and Demons, that one.
Oh,
it was right next to Fallon.
Oh yeah.
The Fallen.
There we go.
Yeah, I hated that house. I
never
liked that house. Me and you talked about it, Darren, about how. Actually, I think we all talked about how we didn't really understand why everybody loved the house so much.
Yeah.
I was like,
there's a lot of blank space and
it was a lot of like the good scenes that were in that were really relying on time, and I just never got it right. Because it was like supposed to be like 3 scenes back to back that you're supposed to hit, and if you would have got that, like, it probably would have been cool, but I don't think it would have really bumped up my standings on the house. I just thought, there was a lot of old used stuff, like the Krampus masks. People try to say that they weren't Krampus masks, but they were literally the same.
Yeah,
the
exactly
elf
the same
masks.
Yeah.
So, and then there was, like you were saying, there was a lot of black sheets, a lot of blank space. Like, nobody was like popping out at you. Like, it wasn't a scary house at all either. Like, I just felt like there was too much dead area. But
yeah, like a filler house, but it's okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling this one's going to be very scenic. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty light on scares. You're not going to see the kids.
Like the Ash House. That's how I felt. It was just more of a appreciate that you're in the movie. I mean, in the show, and
that's the other thing we haven't talked
Werewolf,
about.
Those kind of things.
That's the other thing we haven't talked about either. Do you think we're going to see the kids? Like, and how are they going to do that? Like,
that's
we
hard.
always talk about, they never could use the Walking Dead scenes or characters. I don't know if that's something in a contract, but like, if you think about it, this is going to be even harder to pull off because they're all young kids. I know they do portraying younger kids with obviously adults because kids can't work at the event, but I don't know. We'll see if they're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, like they had the twins for The Shining last year. Which, they could do something like that for like an 11 character, and they might do that. But
or just
I think
keep them at a distance.
I think you'll see references to the other kids, but not actually see them in the house.
Yeah, no.
Possibly in 11 because, like I said, she's like so significant, especially in the ending scenes. She's very much a big part of that.
They'll just use the girl from Bill and Ted show from last year.
Yep.
She looked enough like her.
Yeah.
What do you think about like Hopper and mom and his mom and stuff? Like I don't even remember.
That's who I do think
names.
you will see. You'll see like Winona Ryder lookalikes. You'll definitely see some sheriffs that look like him, but aren't exactly him.
Right, like the Ashes were.
Yeah.
And in their clothes and they wear and the way like they look, that's easily anyone can kind of replicate that. I think.
Yeah.
With a wig and a cool costume.
Right. I was saying that they could use the mom from The Shining from last year. I think she looks enough like her to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she'd be dressed like she is in the show, but I think she looks enough like her to pull that off. So.
If you're listening to this interview, we think you're going to be good for it.
Now, where are we thinking this is going to go? Obviously, a bigger soundstage, right?
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. There's
one of the bigger ones definitely. Maybe probably the one like as soon as you walk into the park. What's that? 24, I think.
Is that the one they use for like Exorcist and
The
Shining?
That's too small, in my opinion.
No, that's
22.
Yeah, no, 20. I think 24. If I'm not mistaken, it's like the first one you go to. It's like where American Horror Story was last year.
I always say Jack. I'm like, where Jack was.
Oh, you think they'll use the one that's the one that they were using just the queue for, right? For American Horror Story?
No, 24 is the big soundstage.
It's the big one.
I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I think they'll use that same one anyways, whatever soundstage that is, the same one they used for that house, just because as soon as you walk into the park, it'll be right there.
Is that the one they used for like
25 years and for last year they did American Horror Story in there.
Gotcha.
Let me see. 21. Is it 21? 24 is at the end. Is it backwards?
No, Blue Man Group. So yeah, but you go back and through to the end of that. So I think it is 24 because you walk all the way back here. Remember, because you got to go through the line.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm all discombobulated, but yeah, definitely a big house.
Yeah.
No way a tent. No
Anyways,
way.
one of the big ones for sure.
Gotcha. I forget the route has changed now since they can open that Fallon door up now, so they can route people that way through the extended queue instead of having everything go, up by the, sounds or not the sound stage, but
hectic.
Yeah. And that's another rumor I've heard this year is that maybe we might be getting a 10th house.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too many houses.
With a brand new location that we haven't seen used before.
It's never too many houses.
I know, right?
Yeah, a new location that we haven't seen before during Horror Nights. So.
I wonder where that would be.
Yeah, I do not know. That came from a legacy on Inside Universal Forum. So.
Well, didn't they talk about possibly putting a third sprung tent in? Like a third permanent sprung tent in at one point?
I think they might have, but
yeah,
it would make sense to do.
I can't imagine that those sprung tents would cost that much money. Like, especially with how big Horror Nights is now. Like adding it's just I don't know how they would do the queue.
They can pay for it in just the donuts.
That queue might get a little wonky back there if they had 3 of them.
It's already wonky,
right?
Yeah, there's a little much going on back there, so I don't know where they.
Well, that would
I gotta look at a map.
Yeah.
It would definitely help a little bit with eating, a little bit more of the crowd up. So that could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other announcements?
Yeah, there was another one that just happened on the 26th. Travis, you want to tell us about Dead Exposure Patient Zero?
Whoa.
I sure can.
Partner?
This one's also from Patrick Braillard on April 26th, 2018.
This Patrick knows a thing or two.
Yeah.
He's basically Mike Aiello.
Yeah.
Our new god.
Oh.
Yeah. So he says, I'm excited to reveal the second haunted house coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2018. This fall, fear will infect you in a brand new house that lives in a world of a fan favorite from our past. Dead exposure, patient zero. And then he says, the original Dead Exposure house shook guests to their core. Easily one of the most terrifying houses we've ever had, which I don't think Darren agrees with that, but with the little chuckle there. Yeah. He says, you entered complete darkness with only flashes of light revealing the zombie hordes surrounding you. We're bringing back that same terror, but this time we're dropping you in the middle of Paris in 1982, which that part sounds pretty cool to me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The City of Lights has gone dark as chaos spreads. Unchecked, hordes of vicious, flesh-eating undead are swarming the streets. The military is forcing those not affected into quarantine, and a vaccine is being given. The only chance to ward off the sickness there are major side effects. You go blind. But he said blindness. But he said you'll be lost in the darkness as the undead hunt you. An attack can come from anywhere. You don't have to remember the original house to understand this single truth. They will find you. This is our first original house announced for this year's event. We've got even more haunted houses and scary zones to announce for Universal's Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. This year's event will take place on select nights September 14th to November 3rd, if you didn't know.
And if you don't know, now you know.
So
yeah. Expect
because I've never done this. I think Travis, right? You didn't go in 2008.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I didn't go in 2008 or if I just didn't go through this house, you know?
Yeah.
How sometimes you just skip houses.
That was before you knew about the Express Pass, like me. I didn't know either. It's okay.
Yeah.
Did they have it back then?
Yeah.
I know 2009 when I started it.
Yeah, in 2008 they definitely had Express.
Gotcha. It was a lot cheaper, though.
Probably. It was probably like $10 or something.
Right.
And nobody probably bought it. Like, oh no.
Probably not.
But yeah, this house, I do remember the original, and it was a lot of strobe flashes and then a lot of darkness. So they'd use a strobe flash to like totally blind you, and then you'd go into a pitch black pretty much area. So the scare actors would, have a really easy time getting up around you, and then they would strobe flash like a black light. And then they would have blacklight reactive paint on their face or on their mask or like that. So, so you would see like a flash of blacklight skull just there floating in front of you.
So they were almost... It says that these are the last photographs that this photographer took, which is where they get obviously the Dead Exposure name, because obviously you expose photography.
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be almost like the images acted out before
death.
Like that's one thing I don't understand. Like,
well, you'd see like the camera flashes, so you're like basically like walking through the house, but seeing it like in his photographs.
Oh wow!
So he's not supposed to be like die. He's not supposed to be like dead. He's just supposed to. You're supposed to be seeing what he's flashing pictures of.
Well, he dies in the process of the original house.
Gotcha. Well, spoiler alert.
Well,
jeez.
The original house.
Just kidding.
You're not going to be
spoiler alert that everybody's already been through.
Original house, yeah. Spoiler alert from 2008. There, so 10 years.
So this is going to be pretty much the same thing, just in a different location. Because I'm assuming this one took place in America, the first one, right?
Yeah. And I think it had a lot to do with the zombie theme and that. And around that time, there was a pretty popular Xbox 360 game called Dead Rising.
Right.
That followed, famous
and then the
photographer.
Resident Evil games and stuff were probably pretty popular back then too, right?
That was the next year.
So
yeah. But the Dead Rising one, one of the mechanics of the game was taking pictures. So
really?
Of the zombies and like different kind of situations and stuff like that, and you get points for it.
I don't know if I ever played that game.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one. It like all took place in a mall, so I think they definitely got some like inspiration from that for this house. But yeah, the rumor on this one is that it will be in Sprung Tent number 1. The original was in Sprung Tent 2, like I said, back in 2008.
Now, is there any difference between the sprung tents? Is one smaller and one's bigger, or are they identical?
No, I think they're the same, the exact same size when you look at it from the top.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense.
This is going to call for a very exciting queue. It's going to be very decorative. It's like hard to decorate something like this.
Yeah, no.
I hope you go through a big camera or something. That would work for me, being a photographer.
I know,
Yeah.
my God.
I think I
Mr.
might already just
Photographer.
be like, this doesn't really, like, when I saw the announcement, I wasn't super like excited about it. But maybe once I go through it, maybe the photography aspect will maybe make me a little bit more biased towards it, maybe like it a little bit
Right?
more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
One
we'll
thing
see.
one thing I think you can expect on this one is the I think they picked Paris specifically. The time frame I think has to do with the overall theme of the event, which we'll talk about later in rumors. But the location of Paris, I think they're using because the Michaela is a big fan of catacombs, the Paris catacombs, and that would be a perfect location to, you know, maybe hide some, or not hide, to try to like barricade some zombies in, you know, to try to keep them away from everybody else and people that might turn. So I think we're gonna take a trip through the catacombs in this house as well.
Oh, that would be so cool.
And what that also is perfect for in this house is, like I said, in a lot of the previous house, they would have black light paint on masks that were kind of like skull-like. So imagine you're walking through a hallway and you're getting flashes of all the skulls all the way down the hallway, and some of them are actually real people
Jumping out, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's no way to know.
And the
So-
other thing I'm wondering about is this whole blindness thing that they're saying. Do you think there's going to be parts of where they're going to maybe almost act like they inoculate or vaccinate you,
Maybe
and then there's
something
just
like that.
darkness?
Yeah, like maybe through like fog or something like that. I don't think they're going to be coming at you with needles or anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
but-
man.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah, but like
simulate it. But I feel like they didn't just put that in there for no reason. There's got to be some reason behind that. So I think it's going to be parts of almost
story.
absolute darkness where you can't
yeah.
see.
Yeah,
So.
and like I said, they'll hit you with strobes first before they put you in the dark, so it's double dark. It's as dark as it could possibly be in there. So
Too bad. Well, this might be... Wait, tent number 1. Maybe this is one of the houses you can do for a stand scream. It's good because your eyes haven't adjusted yet.
yeah,
It can,
that'll actually
shock
make
your
it
eyes.
good.
Yeah, this would be the best house to go for stay and scream. I said it here, folks.
Come get your vaccination.
Definitely. So, yeah, let me tell you about the original house real quick. And I pulled this off of the Halloween Horror Nights wiki, which is an awesome resource there to use.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, this one was in Sprung Tent 2. You got through it through the World Expo area, which is now the Simpsons area. And it was during Reflections of Fear, Halloween Horror Nights 18 in 2008. And basically, Dead Exposure was one of the 8 haunted houses that was featured during Halloween Horror Nights Reflections of Fear in Universal Studios, Florida. An original theme at the event, the house brought guests through the last photographs of Charlie McPherson as he moved through a city full of zombies. Located in Sprung Tent number 2, the house featured strobe lights timed to camera clicks to simulate photographs. Concept and location. Although previous houses at Halloween Horror Nights featured zombies, this house was unique, making guests walk into a photograph. This effect was achieved with the use of blacklight strobes timed to camera clicks throughout the rooms of the house to create a camera flash effect, with blacklight sensitive paint used on the costumes and set to highlight certain portions. Besides the first and final rooms, the entire house was left in darkness, illuminated only with the camera flashes. And it was located in the left tent behind World Expo. The third year the tents were used. Dead Exposure was built in the same tent as Jack's Funhouse and Clownovision from the previous year. To enter the queue, guests were guided to the entrance gate next to Men in Black Alien Attack. And the description here basically is: enter a realm where the flash of a camera reveals horrors beyond comprehension, leaving you in total darkness with Hell's army of the undead. That's nice.
I know, right?
Charlie McPherson, a noted tabloid photographer, has always wanted something more in life than photographing celebs at their worst. And one night, Charlie gets his wish when the city he resides in becomes overrun with flesh-eating zombies. Trapped in his downtown loft with hordes of bloodthirsty zombies just outside, Charlie relives The last horror-filled moments he captured on film, and you were with him every step of the way.
It's not you. It's the English language. It makes no sense. Why is chaos CH? I don't know. It's not chows.
Chows.
I don't know. Blame the English.
Yeah. They invented them. Oh, wait, that's the Phoenicians.
Reaching the front of the house, guests were greeted with loud music, which had famously been featured in zombie movies. Okay. I guess. Standing in front of the entrance was a large bulletin board with ghostly pictures and notes covering it, noting where in town each of the photographs were taken. Walking into a hole in the board, guests entered into photographer Charlie McPherson's apartment. The electricity was out and something was pounding on all the windows, with guests only able to see their shadows.
I'm having a panic attack. I can't handle this.
Charlie himself was lurking in the apartment, warning guests as they walked by of what he saw and urging them to hurry out of there and to look into his portfolio.
That's what I was going to say. Did you ever see him in the house?
Yes, you did.
Oh, that's cool.
Alive and dead, actually.
What does he look?
Cool house.
What did he look like?
Oh, like a tabloid photographer in like a trench coat, like an old school photographer style guy. Yeah.
Like TMZ?
Yeah, like.
Or
no, like
cool guy.
Like in like a 1930s.
Yeah, like a mug. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Hello.
That's crazy.
Leaving the room, guests entered the pictures that he had taken that night. With 3 clicks and flashes at a time, the room was illuminated to reveal a hardware store. And I remember that they used like hard white borders around that, and you'd like walk into them like you're walking into like a photo with like the border around the edge.
Oh,
like
that's
the
kind of
film.
cool.
That's kinda
Yeah.
A number of zombies surrounded both sides of the path, ready to attack. Continuing on Charlie's path, guests entered the sewer. Drips and other sounds were heard from the darkened path, and a camera flash illuminated a zombie lurking in the sewer pipe on the wall. The path continued towards the surface again through a narrow hallway with zombies inside the wall. Reaching the surface, guests were inside a public bathroom. Stalls surrounded the path with some open and zombies inside of them. A zombie blocked the path out of the room and would only move between camera clicks. Once through Charlie's pictures, brought guests outside into a park. Abandoned seemingly by the humans, zombies lurked in the park equipment and near the toys left by children. Leaving the park, guests entered a room full of zombies. Seemingly surrounded by dozens of zombies, there was no clear path through the middle of the area. You guys know this one. That's the 8,000 dummies and 2 real scare actors.
Yep.
Like the one they use. Yeah.
Yeah,
we know what you're talking
while
about.
guests tried to navigate, zombies would attack between camera flashes. Once the room was successfully navigated, guests entered a hallway. Camera flashes revealed zombies hanging above the path. Following the hallway around a corner, flashes revealed a lone zombie underneath the clear flooring trying to get out at guests. Done with Charlie's pictures, guests walked back into his apartment. A number of zombies were surrounding a table to the right of the path. On the table was Charlie, screaming as he was torn apart to be eaten by his attackers. A final zombie, who looked suspiciously like Charlie, popped out of a closet at the other end of the room to scare guests out of the house.
So this is like a Walking Dead before the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I wish I could have experienced this house.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good when they're going through it, but because of the blacklight flashes and everything like that, they just did not theme the house very well.
And is it, but there's 2 types of, like, the blacklight. Is it, like, the orange and the red and the yellow, like a Hollow Scream, like the clown house at Busch Gardens?
It's not 3D.
So it's not, like, it's really, like, playful, like, happy colors that the blacklight...
Is it like the Chroma Depth without the glasses? Or like...
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, like blacklight reactive paint. There's just one kind. It's like neon.
But
colors.
is it different colors or just like a purple color that you get from a neon?
No, they use different colors in there.
You know what would be really cool that if they could somehow tie this into something with the director where he's like following around with him too, so that like
that would be cool.
Almost like a photography and videography aspect to it would be kind of cool. I think
it makes it all all connected.
Probably never see that.
yeah, we never know. They do like to throw little references and things in there.
That'd be cute.
And this has been referenced a couple of times in other houses as well.
So this was like a big thing.
Yeah, Horror Nights: The Hallowed Past, which was like the warehouse house, basically, where they talked about a lot of the...
Chucky got me bad in that house. I don't remember that house much, but Chucky got me bad.
So yeah, they had like a strobe scene in there that referenced this house. That's what that was about. And a little bit of other trivia about the original house that was interesting in the thing too. The camera in the office scene of the original house was in the King Kong remake by Peter Jackson. So it was an actual prop that they used in the movie that they used in the house as well.
Which they later made into a ride. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's come full circle.
Yeah. And then Zombiegeddon was another house they did. I think it was in 2010. They referenced Charlie McPherson in that house. I think it was in the Q video going in there. And somehow this house won House of the Year in 2008. Like I'm saying, it was definitely not based on theming or anything like that. Maybe just because the scare actors did that good of a job.
Like execution. It just sounds fun.
And I guess this would be a fun one as a scare actor to like get your timing down in between the flashes right and everything. To really get effective with it.
But like you can stand up in a flash and then lay down in a flash and then like think you disappear.
That could be a little disorienting though. Do you think they have to do switch outs quicker since the lights are so crazy?
That's a good point.
That is, or maybe they like just train them like, all right, you got to blink at these times.
Every 5 seconds.
Blink at the off times.
Really
Yes.
You just got to keep your eyes closed. I mean, you just got to line it up perfect. We need the perfect scare actor for this. If you don't got your blinks right, I mean, we can't put you in this house. You got to get your blinks on point.
We got to get the blinkety test out.
Yeah. When somebody's down on the ground, they're like, all right.
Close your eyes.
We're going to have to switch you out.
Why does that zombie got glasses on? Sunglasses on?
I think you might see that. I think you might see like glasses behind the skull mask or something like that. Because I do remember some of the other houses last year with heavy strobes and stuff. The scare actors did use sunglasses, like during the Purge and that kind of thing.
They're gonna go like Aviator Wayfarer style this year, since it's gonna be 80s themed.
Yeah, it's Paris '82, so yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's why.
I just think of what a liability. Like, you know how many... Okay, maybe I'm in the medical field, whatever, but just how many people actually have, like, seizures and stuff? I can't believe it, but cool.
Yeah, there's going to be some big warnings outside of this house. Yeah. Like, hey...
If you're pregnant, if you had a really big dinner, if you drank too much at Finnegan, like, you can't come here. We're not Finnegan.
I guess if they have all those warnings out front, like, there's nothing that they could do about that, right? If somebody had...
Yeah, I guess not.
There. Like, I guess they're posted there for a reason. Whether or not if you see them or not, it's a different story. But
that's the first thing I thought of. Like, geez, that's heavy.
Yeah. I'm sure they run into it, but
yeah, I think we will see a lot of warnings in front of this one. And
yeah,
I'm so excited.
Maybe less of a crowd there because of it.
Hey, that's fine. Less crowds for me. Hopefully, I like this one.
I hope they leave Fast and Furious open and then everyone ride Fast and Furious because it's new.
Oh,
and then we have all the houses to ourselves.
that one's been doing really great on the Google reviews.
yeah.
We'll leave this for you and Chris and Tracy and Lee.
Yeah. Honestly, it'll probably be then before I write it. So.
When are you? I was gonna say, when are you guys racing down here to come ride it?
Yeah. I want to ride it with my family.
Well, we got a new Dead Man's Digest member, which is Luna, our 4-month-old corgi puppy.
She is so cute.
So we have not been able to make it to the parks recently.
We're bad fans. When she's old enough to go to
we are
pup
not
care.
We are not family yet, but we will be.
Darren
says,
soon. I don't got friends. I got dog. I got a dog.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, man. But yeah, as far as I mean, that's it so far with announcements. I was really surprised to get an original house announcement at this early in the game. Know. It's only happened one other time, and that was the 25 Years house was announced pretty early on, just because they announced Jack was coming back.
Yeah, that tied in with the whole event, so...
Yeah, so that one made sense. But this one, I don't know. It sounds like it's either like marketing is just taking a totally different approach because of the negative reaction to marketing for the past couple of years.
Or do you think this ties into the event at all? No?
I personally I don't think so. I think it's either that or they had an issue with the licensed house that they were getting ready to announce and they couldn't announce, so they had to toss something
we'll
out there on the schedule.
We'll put house number 3 announcement out early.
Yeah.
You guys remember that scary house with camera flashes? Let's do it again.
Yay!
Yeah, we don't need props or anything. Yeah. We're good.
We still got all that old crap in the back, right?
Yeah, we just we'll make some wireframe and some cardboard boxes. We're good. We're good.
Yay!
Yeah, we're talking crap now, but watch this house win house.
I know, watch this be my
Yeah.
favorite house of all time. It already is. 2008.
Yeah. I'm
Sounds so
thinking they
fun.
can use a lot of like the London street
That's
atmosphere
what I
and
thought.
stuff
That'd be really
in here,
cool.
but that's going from a soundstage to a sprung tent.
Oh,
They'd
yeah,
have to
it's a
do it on a
tent.
much
Oh.
smaller scale.
I think if you, like you were saying, if they added some of that catacombs element to it, I think it could definitely pop this house up
Yeah.
even more on the list instead of.
Claustrophobic-y, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they have to with that time, and I hope they like really embrace it with the 80s music, especially like have that one be like the Euro 80s style Daft Punk, Depeche Mode, kind of music playing while you're going through it. I think that'll really work with the atmosphere of the house and everything.
I don't see something like the house in 2008, like you were saying, where it was a lot of just bare, like, not theming. I don't think that will fly today. You got to look at, this was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to fly these days.
Yeah.
People are gonna call that out quickly.
Yeah, you're gonna have the pros like us timing our blinks, and we're gonna see your set design, and we're gonna
Right.
know.
We're going to time our blinks. Stay
I'm just
tuned.
when their flash goes off, I'm gonna turn the flash that I have on, and it'll just be the light on the whole time.
Just reverse it.
I won't do that.
Yeah.
We just got uninvited to the media
Right
event.
this way,
Thank
sir.
you.
Will they let people? Well, do they let people use? They don't let people use flash, right?
No, we'll have to get one of those fancy infrared cameras. Does that A7 do that?
There's probably I think there's a hack that you can do for it. But
Probably.
it's so good in low light. I don't think I'd even need it anyways.
Yeah,
so
there you go. We'll just have you walk through with that, and
yeah,
we will see all.
We know all. Or we'll just do the backstage
Yeah,
with the lights on tour.
there we go.
If they do that. Any rumors?
Yeah, there's a little bit. Rumors are kind of all over the place this year. There was a lot of stuff that like came out that seemed like it was going to be like a definite thing, and then they were kind of like, oh well, maybe not. We don't know.
We're still in April. Give us a moment.
Yeah.
I hope the whole thing has like a cohesive, because I feel like that was
always
a lot of
do.
stuff that was like last year just felt way off to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's why I
it
agree.
didn't have like a cohesive thing. Like they definitely need to have that this year.
I
Yeah.
agree, and I always feel like it's more of, I don't know why, I enjoy it more with like a theme. I don't know, I buy more merch when it's
Because
a
it ties
theme.
it all in. Like
Yeah.
everything makes sense together. It's not just a house, a scares.
Yeah.
Like everything
Yeah.
makes sense together, and it culminates as one big event.
It's fun, and that's
Yeah.
why with Jack's 25, like with the show and everything, it just felt like not only did all the houses like kind of fit in together, and there was all like all the scare zones, and you were excited with the anniversary, but it also had a show that tied everything in together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that feeling was so great, and it's like I haven't had that feeling since 25, like at all.
Right. They're
Yeah.
going to be hard pressed to, like, even though all the houses weren't like spectacular, I feel like the ones that were spectacular in HHN 25 were good, really good. And then obviously, like you were saying, the whole Carnival of Carnage thing tied it in together. So you had like a
pep rally.
visceral
Yeah.
feeling in the event.
Yeah.
And then you were hearing Jack talk throughout the whole, and the music was really good.
The dancers
I don't know,
were,
there's
I don't know, that's
something-
next year. I'm like, wait, the
Just
dancers.
something. There was just something about it that it's better when you tie it in, especially with somebody like Jack, where like James Keaton is such a good actor, and it just, you feel like you're a part. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's our Mickey Mouse.
No, yeah, it was definitely a big thing that year, and it was something that we've been missing since then, I would say.
Like, honestly, yeah.
But yeah, so as far as the rumors go, like the overall theme and the two house announcements that we've gotten so far kind of support it, is that we're having like an overall kind of 80s theme to the event.
Yeah,
which
I'm looking forward to that.
which is real cool. It kind of gives you the opportunity to participate yourself too.
I was going to say, I have my hairspray ready.
exactly.
Where's my damn
like-
Back to the Future house?
Oh, yeah. Oh
I
my
don't even care.
God, I don't even care.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say 1985 alternative Biff's Casino.
Oh,
The
my
upside
God,
down.
please.
The pleasure
Back to the
balance.
Future stuff.
Yep.
I got goosebumps.
Be assaulted
about
by
it.
bums and bikers out front. You want to do it the easy way or the hard way? The easy way. Bam.
Dude, that'd be so awesome.
Good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and a little too on the nose realistic with Biff and Donald Trump and whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Just, we'll leave that one there.
That's a true horror.
Yeah, sadly, I mean, I don't know for sure. We can't totally rule it out, but big rumored house previous to this was It that we were going to get. And, you know, the places, the people that talk about the rumors are kind of shying away from it now. Mm-hmm. So there might have been some kind of a licensing issue or some kind of problem that, you know, happened.
I've always thought that would be, like, the second the movie came out, I remember we were talking, I thought that it would be a wonderful, like an icon, like a battle between Jack and and Pennywise. It'd be such a cool, like, just to watch them kind of like who has
Kill
more
each
power.
other.
Kill each other. Like,
Even
just
though
power over the event and just who's, like, the better clown. But
I think they're both technically dead, right?
shoot, if you think about it.
Is Pennywise dead?
No.
Because I know Jack
It's
is,
real
right?
weird.
The new movie just
Well,
made it
yeah.
weirder.
I mean, Jack's technically dead. It depends on which storyline you're following. As far as it goes, I don't.
As far as it goes.
Yeah,
Or as it goes.
licensing issues or what, might be causing issues with that. But
There's only room for one clown. His name is
It'd be a cool house for sure. I think that would be one of the houses that would actually maybe scare me a little bit to go through.
yeah, and they did such a good job of that pop-up house in L.A.
Right?
You know that I think there was plenty enough material to go through for the house. So
Tons.
it's interesting if it doesn't happen. We'll
What?
wonder why.
Where do you think that would go?
In a soundstage for sure.
Think so?
Yeah.
Do you think that they would build the facade for the house? You'd almost have to, right?
Yeah, I think you would walk into the soundstage and see the front of it, and then go in through there. Yeah. Even
Almost like,
if
yeah,
they even started out with
style.
it. Yeah. Because there's a
really
lot
cool.
they can go through, like their each individual ones. You know, they have like the painting and the like the leper. You know, those all diseased.
Like all the things the kids saw.
Yeah, they could go through all those and then go through the house.
That'd be the creepiest house.
It would be
Ugh.
great. So
Yeah, dude, especially when he actually shows like the creepy style face that he does. I don't know what they call that because he's not obviously
With
not
all the teeth,
same.
all the pointy teeth when he's
Yeah.
doing that little dance in
Right.
the sewers. Ugh.
Yeah, that's dude. Imagine that being pitch black and that thing just
No.
comes out at you.
No.
My God, that would be
awesome.
some scary crap right there.
yeah,
And they're not afraid to show kids that are like mangled,
yeah.
dead, deceased, like they did in La Llorona house. Llorona?
Oh, yeah.
Llorona?
Yodana,
I don't speak Spanish anymore.
say you speak Spanish.
Yeah, she's the
I
only one
used
that does.
to. I'm losing it.
Another strong rumor that hopefully is still happening is Lost Boys,
Yeah,
which is a really cool 80s movie. Another thing people were noticing is that out of the rumored houses and everything that people were talking about, they kind of cover like each year of the 80s. And, if the rumor is true that we have 10 houses, that makes sense, like to go from 80 to 89.
Oh wow.
You could have like a house for each year.
This house is just going to be like at a carnival, and then people are just randomly popping out at you saying, Michael, 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 Michael.
And then
That's the whole
saxophone
house.
guy, and then Michael. And,
Dude, if they do this house, that saxophone guy has to be in there.
oh yeah.
That would be so freaking awesome.
And then they like load you up on one of the Fast and Furious buses, and then you go through like a tunnel sequence so you can have the motorcycles riding around you.
Yeah. See, I don't even see this house really being that scary because the movie's not really that scary to me
No.
personally.
It would be fan
But
service.
I think like you're saying, it could be fan service, and it could also there's some cool sets that could be put in there.
Yeah.
With the whole carnival aspect and
Yeah, and like the seaside cliffs and stuff that you see in parts of it.
Right.
Like the caves and stuff. That would be pretty cool. I think.
for sure.
Yeah. Another strong rumor is Trick or Treat. Which actually doesn't technically have an 80s base because in the movie...
It didn't come out in the 80s?
I always
No, it
I always thought the same thing too, that it was an 80s or 90s style movie, but it's not. It was like from like 2008
Yeah.
or
Really?
something, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not even really based in that time either because the people have like modern cell phones and stuff like that. So, even the storylines aren't even based in that time, but it kind of follows a traditional Halloween theme that just reminds you of the 80s, I think. So I think they can get away with it.
It was directed by, who was it directed by?
Here, I'm going to pull it up.
Wasn't it, what was the tie-in with, oh, it was the same one that did Krampus, right?
Yes.
Because there was that, there was the trick-or-treat poster in the Krampus house, right?
Yeah, and the lollipops.
The director was Michael Dougherty?
Yeah, Michael Dougherty.
I don't know why, and I feel like I'm not the only person that got like 80s vibes from it for some reason. I don't know if it was because of like the scenery, you know, like the whole Halloween trick or treating aspect, you know.
Yeah, it's what Halloween looked like back then, basically.
Right.
So I think like even if it doesn't necessarily take place in the 80s, I think it still kind of falls on the same.
And the
theme.
Scare Zone was so amazing last year. Like, please.
Yeah.
That was the best Scare Zone of the year.
Yeah, and just because the whole thing has a whole 80s vibe doesn't mean every single house has to be from the 80s. So I could definitely see this. Like you could tell they're almost kind of maybe paying homage to that style of movie from the 80s, like a slasher movie. So that could work out too.
Yeah, and speaking of slashers, another rumor I don't really have down here, but I was reading today was Freddy, like just like a compendium of like Freddy.
Always, any day, every day.
Yeah. Hell yeah, that would be awesome. They
have a lot of props they can reuse for that one, and then create some new scenes and everything based around it. I think everybody's cool with Freddy.
Or bring back Freddy versus Jason. I don't care.
And it's almost got to be a given, right, that Halloween's coming this year? Or do you think there's been too much Halloween?
I think that
lately?
Might be the case. They might have unfortunately undone themselves with that, with having the 2 previous years to go back and then have the. I mean,
unless they do another Blumhouse mashup.
True.
Because it is a Blumhouse film, right?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, so. But I if they do it, I would imagine it would be more on its own. And the interesting thing is, if it is based on the new one, it's not 80s themed, so it kind of throws the whole 80s theme out the window. Because we wouldn't want it to be based on the original again, because they've already done that. And if it is based on the new one, that's like a spiritual successor to part 2, but happens like 40 years later.
I do hear they're getting one of the original actors back for it, like the original Michael that played him back. Can't remember who told me that, but
oh yeah, huh. I know Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, so.
But this is supposed to be like in the future, even more in the future, right?
Well, yeah, it's like everything after 2 never happened, basically, but it's still been 40 years since 2 happened, because Jamie Lee Curtis is obviously fully grown.
Which is weird because he should be like really old at that time, so 40 years later,
yeah,
like
but
how
he's
old is he
the
then?
shape. He doesn't really.
I know.
So where does this fall on the spectrum of Halloween H2O? Remember that
H2O,
movie?
Yes, H2O never happened. Busta Rhymes is not involved.
You know what? Surprisingly, I actually liked that movie back in the day when I was younger. I don't know why.
Yeah, it wasn't bad if you've never seen anything else and had any like frame of reference for it,
Yeah, I like when she cut his head off with the axe.
Yeah.
Turned out it wasn't even him. Surprise. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
But any other stuff you've heard?
Yeah, another like very loose rumor that I heard recently too is Poltergeist, which does fit in to the 80s theme and would be an awesome house.
I know, another creepy house.
It's one of those houses that pulling up to it, you know what it's going to be with that theme song going.
Yeah, and it is
that 80s.
Put it in the Exorcist house.
Yeah, and it is super creepy. The movie is highly disturbing. That is definitely one that would freak me out because the movie freaked me out so much when I was a kid.
That's they're here, right?
Yep. Yeah, and the like the pool full of dead Indians, basically Native Americans.
Oh my God,
because it was
racist.
because it was built on a burial mound, basically.
Oh, Indian burial ground. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the bottom of the pool opens up and like all the like skeletons are out there like trying to pull you down into the mud.
That's another one I need to watch again because I don't even remember the last time I saw that one either. I really don't remember much details about that one.
That one is great, and that would make for a very awesome house, especially if they broke it down like The Exorcist, and did like actual scenes from the movie, and then like kind of did like their own feelings, between scenes, like they did like the vomit sheets and that kind of thing, like to have like the TV static and everything like that, and hands pushing through on the walls.
That little girl was so disturbing.
Yeah,
she was such a good actress. It's creepy.
Yeah, she died,
I hope
she died after the second one.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Poltergeist has a pretty strong curse tied to the movie.
Let's not bring it to Horror Nights.
Everybody except for Coach.
Well, did they say the same thing about Exorcist too? Like, wasn't Exorcist plagued when they recorded that movie?
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah, and then they said you didn't hear a lot about the stuff that was happening at Horror Nights too in that house.
I did hear a couple of the things.
There was some pretty creepy stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
Say creepy time.
Yeah, lights turning on and off.
Creepy time.
I heard about
cameras
Welcome
and stuff turning off and on too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I really have for rumors. Like I said, it's like kind of all over the place this year.
We're in April.
This is rumor. These are definitely rumors. Take them with a grain of salt.
A grain lit of salt.
Even the people that I know that are in the know are kind of telling me that everything's kind of up in the air. So we don't know.
Yeah, they're probably throwing some false stuff out there. So see what people are, what's the scuttlebutt on the street.
Yeah, the one thing I feel confident saying as far as rumors go is Lost Boys. I think we're pretty much solid on that one.
That's the strongest one.
Wow. I'm happy with that, and I'm really excited for the 80s theme.
Yeah,
especially with scare zones that they can do. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we were actually at Target last night, and we found an awesome Stranger Things
on clearance, baby,
puffy
$7.
Puffy vest, 80s style. Yeah,
because we're in Florida, no one wears vests.
Yeah, so hot. Get to Target if your local Target has one. Pick it up. They're like $7.
Puffy vests. We're gonna be the coolest people there.
How crazy is it though if they go with the 80s theme and there's no freaking Bill and Ted this year?
Yeah,
they're most
WTF,
relevant.
Mate. Yes,
they're coming back. You heard it here first.
Maybe it'll be the Doc and Marty show this year.
Psych.
Right.
We can only hope.
No, it'll be like a Beetlejuice show, and it'll be all 80s, and we'll all want to go crazy.
Beetlejuice's bogus journey. You're first.
There we go.
I am like, is there any rumors on shows or anything?
Not any rumors yet.
What the heck?
I mean, it's almost. I mean, is it a given that Academy of Villains is coming back? Or
we need to start scoping their Twitters because they're very bad about saying when they're rehearsing for what.
Yeah.
You
know what I did just recognize though? Well, I recognized it last night. If they do a Lost Boys, is PJ gonna do Bill in the? Is he gonna play Alex? Character in the house?
That would be great. Yeah.
Because I was like, hold up, that's freaking Bill. From Bill and Ted when I saw him, and he's got a freaking crazy mullet too in that movie.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and still rocking the half shirt. So, no, definitely that would be great to see him in there. That would be a great reference. I don't know. He might be a little bit above doing half-hour shifts in the house, but
great.
Well, man, that would be awesome to see.
Yeah.
I think overall I'm excited. Like, this has got my little Horror Nights little flame going.
Yeah.
I'm like really excited for it. I'm
interested and intrigued, and like I said, having an original house announcement this early has definitely thrown me off and got me off, kind of like off base here, and I don't know exactly where they're going with it this year, but like I said, I've heard rumors it's going to be a big year for them. So
yeah, and then definitely like stay tuned. I think this year we are all like really kind of like we've gotten so excited about this. I mean, stay tuned, like pictures and video. Like I know every time we go out, we'll do like live videos for people who can't really get out there. I mean,
fingers crossed we can get into that media event again this year. So
for sure.
So Universal, if you're listening, we need to get into the event again. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. If there's no chance of that, then we're sending Travis backstage.
Right.
Go get some clandestine pictures. Get that telephoto out.
So when are we thinking the next? Any guesses on when the next announcement will go down?
I mean, if they follow,
Sometime in May, right?
They did 2 in 1 month there, so yeah, I'd hope at some point in May. I know Hollywood has said that they're going to do an announcement in May. So
Yeah, they seem like they've been a little bit more open about it. I guess he always is, though, right?
Yeah, he kind of pretty much just tells
John
you
Murdy always, yeah.
Like, all right, we're going to tell you next Thursday.
Okay.
I wish they would do kind of some of the cool stuff that John Murdy does with like they do sometimes. Like last year, I think it was The Shining, that you tell somebody a password and you almost get like a little cool free little thing. I wish they would incorporate that here. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
They give out a password and have a limited amount of things to give out.
Yeah. I think you're seeing the difference between like John Murdy and Mike Aiello and Patrick Brilliard, who's just coming in and starting things new and changing a lot of things about the event, including like the alcohol last year and that kind of thing. So
which is another topic I can talk.
Yeah, that'll be interesting
about.
to see what they do this year.
When they took liquor off the streets.
Does it already seem like Mike is a little bit more involved with Horror Nights this year than he was last year, or was that just me? Like, does it seem like he's tweeting a little bit more than he was last year about stuff?
It seems like it, yeah.
Twitter, I know on Instagram too.
Yeah, and last year he was pretty busy with the Hogwarts projection show. I think that's what.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of traveling to England
Nights.
and Ireland and stuff like that last year. So
yeah, he's been talking more Halloween.
He's more here and working on that kind of thing now. I know he's probably also working on the nighttime show for Universal Studios Florida, which is going
finally. I'm
crazy.
So excited.
You guys haven't been over there lately to see all the crazy stuff they've ripped up and.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice, but
huge
sometimes like
platform
it's
out in the stage. I mean, out in the lake, and there's a lot of stuff happening over there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, when we get back, it'll be nice. It's like it's new.
Yeah.
Fall in love all over again.
All new park.
So yeah, and I mean, next time they have an announcement or another really strong rumor,
back.
we will be back.
Probably be back within a couple weeks to a month, probably.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It'll just be a
Fingers crossed.
semi-regular thing. We'll keep it on here. It won't be every week until we get closer to Horror Nights. Then, we'll do our survival guide and things like that, and get you prepped and ready to go at that time. And our list once we
we'll
have
complete
more
like a
information.
movie list, like the have to watch movies before you go, and
we'll
be
get
ready.
that all worked out.
Yeah, I think we need to do a little bit more than we did last year, especially the wrap-up thing, because I don't think we ever did really wrap up last year.
Now this
Because I
year
think
is
there was a lot of
insane.
stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on with everybody, so we
No, this year's
apologize
gonna
for
be
that. But
the best. Like, watch out.
All right, well, there you go.
You heard it here
Nina's
first.
responsibility. So.
No, this is too much. I
So
quit.
if there's not enough, nthompson91@ymail.com.
I hate you right now.
Giving her email
4-year
address out. Not even
anniversary.
Twitter.
What?
Yeah, just go ahead and email her and let her know
Let her
how
inbox.
often you would like content.
I'm a Nigerian prince. Yes, have all my money.
No, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be more than was last year, because I think there was a lot of stuff going on last year, so we didn't really get to much last year. So
Yeah, and we definitely want to keep up the coverage throughout the event as well.
Because this is like our life.
Yeah.
All of ours. Like, we're obsessed with Horror Nights.
Yeah, definitely.
This is going to be my 9th year in a row where
And,
I go.
Nina and I have
more
the
than
new
one
puppy,
night.
so I might just have to leave Nina at home and get that unlimited pass and go myself. So
Wow,
I mean,
no.
if I have to sacrifice and do that for our family and for the listeners, I will do that.
Uncle
Hey,
Travis
just
will
find
stay.
just find a puppy-friendly hotel.
Yeah, there
Right.
you go. All right. She's pretty brave too. She might make it through Horror Nights, no problem.
Better than
Right?
I can.
Just get her a vest.
Yep,
That's
there you
all it is. Plenty of people do it.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, that will do it for this episode, and we will see you next time on the next Dead Man's Digest.